All right, let's talk about what's happening in music right now. Because, this feels like more than just a trend, it's like a huge shift. We're talking about the global explosion of P-pop, and it's all being spearheaded by two absolute powerhouse groups from the Philippines who are basically changing the game.
So, that really brings us to the big question, right? Are we actually watching a full-blown P-pop global takeover happen in real time, with BINI and SB19 at the forefront? I mean, the evidence is really starting to pile up, and honestly, it's pretty compelling. So let's dive in and break it all down.
Okay, first things first, let's get on the same page. If you're new to this, when we talk about P-pop, it's pretty simple. It stands for Filipino pop music. It's basically the modern-day evolution of something called OPM, that's original Filipino music. Just think of P-pop as the super high-energy, global-ready sound coming out of the Philippines today. All right, let's kick things off with BINI. They're known as the nation's girl group, and honestly, their recent moves on the international scene, they've been absolutely explosive. And it's the sheer speed of their success that's just mind-blowing. I mean, they didn't just perform at Coachella. No, this was a massive, history-making debut for an all-Filipino group. It even got them a breakout star shout-out from Forbes. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. Right after that, boom, they're performing a global spin live set at the GRAMMY Museum. And then boom, they get a huge Billboard award. This isn't just a slow build-up, this is a full-on international blitz. And let's talk about that Billboard Global Force Award for a second, because that's a really big deal. This isn't just some random trophy to put on a shelf. It's a huge landmark moment. It's the first time ever a homegrown P-pop act has gotten this kind of recognition from Billboard US. And that sends a massive signal to the entire global music industry.
But here's the thing. BINI isn't doing all this alone. Running on a parallel track, you've got the undisputed kings of P-pop, SB19. And they're showing their dominance in a totally different, but just as impressive way. So while BINI was hitting all these major industry events, SB19 was out there conquering the entire world on tour. We're talking a massive 21-city world tour. And they're not even done yet. Their next stop is the legendary Lollapalooza stage in Chicago. But, to really get a sense of their global power, you have to look at what's happening back home.
Just look at that number, over 150,000 fans. That's how many people turned up for their tour finale concert in the Philippines. This isn't just a big show, you guys. This is a record-breaking, massive demonstration of their home-based support. And that's the kind of foundation you need to go global.
Okay, so you've got these two huge P-pop groups, both making these massive moves at the same time. And this is where things get really interesting, because their paths start to cross. And that has started a huge storm of rumors among their fans.
Okay, just take a look at the calendar for April. You've got BINI in the US for Coachella, the GRAMMY Museum, and the Billboard event. Now, at the exact same time, SB19 is also in the US. For tour stops, they announced Lollapalooza, and get this, they're also being followed around by camera crews. Fans are looking at this and thinking, that's a little too perfect to just be a coincidence.
So you can totally see why the fans are putting on their detective hats, right? You've got camera crews following both groups, which, screams documentary. Then they both join the same global fan app, Weavers. And on top of all that, you have that ridiculously perfect timing. So the speculation is just getting hotter and hotter that some kind of massive collaboration is coming.
And this right here really says it all, doesn't it? Someone tweeted, "Imagine a Gento x Pantropico mashup on a global stage." I mean, can you even? That just captures the wild energy of what a collab between the kings of P-pop and the nation's girl group would feel like. The hype is absolutely real.
But look, whether this collab rumor turns out to be true or not, what's happening right now is actually way bigger than just these two groups. This has huge implications for the entire Filipino music scene.
And what's really cool to see is this feeling of collaboration, not competition. Whenever BINI has a big win, you see SB19 publicly congratulating them. It goes the other way too. It's like they all know that when one of them breaks through, it opens up a bigger door for everyone else in P-pop. It really is that a win for one is a win for all mentality.
And this isn't just some nice idea, it's actually happening. They're paving the way for so many other talented groups like G22, Alamat, Kaya, and the new group Exonara. Really, the list goes on and on. They're the ones blazing the trail for everyone else.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's simple, but it's powerful. That whole phrase, P-pop Global Takeover, it's not just a hashtag or wishful thinking from fans anymore. When you look at the historic festival gigs, the major industry awards, the sold-out world tours, it's become a real, measurable, undeniable fact.
And that just leaves us with one final and pretty exciting question. The P-pop takeover is officially here, and it's picking up speed every single day. So with BINI and SB19 blowing the doors wide open, who is the world going to discover next?